Hello, I'm ShadowsReign, and in this video we're going to be talking about competitiveness over fun. So the reason I bring this up is because developers of games these days have a really hard time finding the balance between these things. Or do they? It would seem as if they do. But let's have a little look into a few games and see what's actually going on there. So we'll start off with League of Legends. League of Legends, as I mentioned last week in a video, is basically a game which is better because of the input that pros and streamers have in there. And that's because the game is meant to be competitive. The game is designed to be competitive. Even in normal modes, there is draft pick, which, you probably know what that is. But if you don't, it's where you can see what other characters people are playing, and you can pick your characters around that. And you can't play as duplicate characters. So if one person on the other team picks one character, you can't pick the exact same character. Stuff like that. But you can also pick a character whose kit can counter that if they're going in your area of the map. Now, that's a change that's came about of people inputting all this time, and that's good because it's a competitive change, and it's the competitiveness of that particular game which is what makes it so engaging and so fun to play. Other games go the other way around. You got games like, let's just take Call of Duty for example, multiplayer. Now, we'll not touch on Warzone quite yet because I don't think that's quite relevant for what we're trying to talk about, but multiplayer is meant to be a game mode that's all fun. It's going to be a game where there's just organized chaos, unorganized chaos, shit blowing up everywhere, people screaming down mics on deaf comms. It's absolutely beautiful to behold, and that's, it's a pull toward the game. That's why I buy that every year, even though I can play free Warzone. It's because it's fun, and I enjoy it, and in general, it's just a general good time. Whereas, we then look at Apex. Apex is somewhere in the middle. Apex has got a casual mode. That's got a mode where you can just chill out, relax, not think too seriously about what's going on around you, and have a bit of fun with it, Your same way as multiplayer. You're dropping into a battle royale environment, which is meant to be hyper competitive, but you still can have a casual experience in there, and that's what makes it fun. People running comps that you wouldn't see, like character comps that you just wouldn't see, weapon combos that you just wouldn't see, and that's the beauty of that particular part of the game. You've got all of that going on. It also has a ranked mode where you can get all the competitiveness out of it, and where the strength of competition is what also makes that particular mode fun. It's fun because it's different. It's fun because it's competitive. It's fun because everyone is trying their best to take the game as seriously as they can, past gold, I'd say, and actually have a good go of it. It's a completely different experience to a casual experience. It basically means that particular game has two games within it. Well, that's not if you include in the arenas mode or the control game modes or the other limited time game modes. But the point is, in one game, you've got two core game modes, and both types of people enjoy it for different reasons. Now, it's not always as easy as having a ranked mode and a competitive mode, as you've seen lately with Apex Legends, as you've seen for the past 2 years in Warzone. It's a lot of people can start taking these games a bit too seriously, and that's kind of a problem what COD's got. It's meant to be a casual mode, but people are playing it competitively, even though it's not a competitive game. It's not designed to be a competitive game. The developers will pretend it is, but it's not. So where is the balance? And to be honest, the balance is with the audience themselves. It's on the community. People are going to be playing games like Valorant. People are going to be playing games like CSGO. These games are designed to be competitive. But, that's what draws people in. The competitiveness of, obviously of the competition, the competitiveness of the teams they're playing against. Playing someone who's an equal attack to them. Playing people who's countering them while they're actively trying to counteract that as well. The tactics. People find real enjoyment out of that, and that's the competitive side of gaming, and people really enjoy that, and it's really fun. On the flip side of that, you've got games like Fall Guys, where it's competitive, yeah, sure, kind of, but not really. People want to have fun with it. People want to just sit back, relax, and, sit back and just enjoy a general gaming experience, and I think that's really good. Now, it's a difficult question to answer, because I feel as if a lot of people who play games that don't have a competitive mode, like Warzone, I suppose, obviously Apex does have one. People don't know what they want, and that's a problem, because competitive players think they know what they want. The professionals think that they know what they want. But the problem with all of this is when these inputs are basically taken in, but it affects the casual experience. So if you've got one game, which is like, obviously Apex is a good example of this, and League of Legends, basically they've got their competitive modes and they've got their casual modes. If you make too many changes for the competitive side and you take some of the fun elements out, you find that both casuals and ranked is just sweaty, hot garbage messes. And if you go the other way, where you make the game a bit too casual and there's just too much OP stuff going on at the same time, you end up having what happened to Fortnite, where it's just absolute controlled chaos, and professionals and streamers and content creators just can't play the game as well as they feel as if their ability affords them to be. And this is obviously a problem that we're seeing, because game developers are trying to go one way in games that are designed to be played both ways, or games that are only designed to be fun, and that's a bit of a problem. So what can you do about that? I mean, own it. Whatever your game is, own it. And if you've got a game which is competitive, play into that. Make the competitive changes. Make those changes that you need to. If it does take out a little bit of the fun of it, so be it. But if that's what the game you're meant to be, do it. If your game is meant to be fun, don't cater too much to the professionals. Cater to what keeps it fresh, fun, and unique. And that's something that people really need to bear in mind going forward, because this is just, it's getting a bit mad now, where all these games are losing their identity. Warzone obviously has. Apex, though it's recovered now, that's done it in the past. We've went through phases where League of Legends has been a bit too competitive, and we've went through phases where everything's been OP and not suited to competitive play at all. So Overwatch, obviously everyone was just using the same meta past a certain point, and people were then not interested in it because it wasn't fun enough. You had to play a certain way or hit the highway, and that's kind of how we are. We need to decide what we want from certain games, or developers want to decide how their games need to be played, and the answer to it is complete and utter decisiveness. But guys, what do you think? Let me know in the comment section below, and as always, hit like, subscribe, and yeah, let's just have a little chat. Love you, bye.